Well, happy Friday, everybody. I'm Jason Laird from the Storm Tracker Weather Team with an afternoon weather update. Fog remains the big story. I don't know if you've been outside much today, but it just does not want to go anywhere as we play this out. Up through tomorrow morning at about 10 a.m., it looks like that fog is going to pretty much hang tight with us, especially over the Missouri and areas of bodies of water. But now the fog tracker, keep in mind, it does kind of tend to paint in cloud cover as fog too, but the big story is we still are looking at fog over a good chunk of central Montana and especially northeastern Montana. So with that said, we've got a ton of watches and warnings to break down for you here. The area to our north here, in kind of that hue of green, that's going to be a freezing fog advisory through 9 p.m. tonight. I've showed you this last week a couple pictures of freezing fog, but freezing fog acts very similar to freezing rain. It literally will accumulate on surfaces and weigh them down, literally just freeze ice on power lines, tree branches, small vegetation, things like that. So that's kind of the big story of the freezing fog. As we go from Jordan to Wolf Point to Malta up into the northeastern corner, that is a winter weather advisory. An additional 2 to 4 inches of snow accumulation with a light glaze of snow is possible into this area. I don't know if you've seen, but there's some pretty healthy accidents around the Miles City area because of that freezing rain as these systems move through. The temperatures are right on that border of freezing, so any of that precipitation coming through, obviously above freezing, we're going to see the rain. As soon as it transitions below freezing, we start to see the snow. Nothing out of the ordinary there, but can cause some pretty hazardous driving conditions. As we look just south of Great Falls here, we do have another winter weather advisory through Sunday at 12 p.m. Now, keep in mind, especially into the high terrain, we've been tracking an area of low pressure that's slowly but surely moving inland, finally making landfall yesterday, and it's continually circulating moisture across the state. So all weekend long through the beginning of this next week, we're still going to see snow showers with the occasional freezing rain move through. So that's why this winter weather advisory is in place. Higher elevations could see 6 to 8 inches of accumulation. All right, I don't suspect we're going to see much into the foothills like that. We could see an additional 2 to 4 inches of accumulation up and down 15, but keep in mind that there is that possibility of very heavy accumulation into the high terrain. You get what they call orographic lift. When this moisture moves up the mountains, it's forced to condense, cool. And when it does that, you see some pretty decent snow accumulations over the high terrain, but it kind of fizzles as it moves over top of the divide and heads east. So likely a lot less accumulation on actual Interstate 15, but higher terrain has that strong potential of seeing some pretty decent accumulations. Hopefully that kind of made sense to you guys. All right, future cast over the next few hours. Here's how things are going to play out. Band of snow continues across eastern Montana. Notice from Glendive to Glasgow, we're tracking pretty decent bands of snow. It's that very wet, heavy, dense snow. Again, a lot of moisture in this system. Temperatures right on the border of freezing. We could see that potential for freezing rain. As we move into Saturday morning, see these little spotty flurries, right? That's the stuff over top of the high terrain that potentially could dump out some pretty decent accumulations. Once it breaks over Interstate 15 into the foothills, not quite as much in the way of accumulation, but we're going to see those off and on flurries all weekend long. Notice as we get into Saturday evening here, some heavier batches of snow likely. I still anticipate this snow to be the very wet, heavy, dense snow, so not much in the way of accumulation, but a decent amount of moisture with this storm. So just keep that in mind, folks. We'll have more updates coming your way this evening, and of course, we don't have a 5:30 news tonight, only 10 o'clock, so we'll see you there, and of course, if anything changes, we'll keep you up to date right here on how about on our websites, and of course, on Storm Tracker Weather. Have a good one.